What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now, Extreme Rules is just a week away, and yet all fans can talk about is the White Rabbit. Will the WWE's baffling bunny show up again? Well, join us now as we look at the latest episode of Smackdown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE Hall of Famer and Japanese legend passes away, the wrestling world reacts to the passing, White Rabbit clues, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our wrestling channel, Incredible. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the goodest. Number 1, Sami and Solo wreck the place. Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa are quite the team, and while Solo, an apt name, is a one-man wrecking crew, Zayn does a good job directing traffic in the ring. While it's never going to happen, it would be fun to see Zayn and Solo break off from the Bloodline and challenge Jay and Jimmy for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Number 2, WWE protects Madcap. And although Ricochet and Madcap lost against Sami and Solo, the WWE gave the babyfaces enough time that they weren't squashed, keeping both superstars from looking like chumps. That was last week when Solo Sikoa destroyed them backstage. The WWE also had the heels cheat their way to win, which if nothing else sets things up for a rematch. The WWE has spent so much time building up Madcap Mouse up, so they should rethink demoting him, especially since the fans seem to enjoy his work. Number 3, making Morgan menacing. Is Liv Morgan going to pull off the impossible and defeat Ronda Rousey 3 matches in a row? As unlikely as that seems, the WWE has helped Liv Morgan improve her arsenal and add some much needed toughness to her character. Having Morgan learn MMA moves from Little to help her out against Shayna Baszler was a smart move, as was Morgan challenging Rousey to an Extreme Rules match. While Morgan didn't inflict much of a beating on Rousey last night, she didn't back down, with the WWE creating the possibility she'll walk out of Extreme Rules with the women's title. Number 4, a good promo from Karrion. Karrion Kross put on another good promo, explaining why he's out to destroy Drew McIntyre and also reminding fans that he still has Roman Reigns in his crosshairs. Number 5, another excellent exchange between KO and Sami. The tease to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's reconciliation continued last night when Owens passed honorary Sami Zayn by and warned his former friend of the Bloodline. And number 6, is that all you got? The Brawling Brutes vs Imperium feud continues to intensify, with Sheamus taking a 3-on-1 beatdown from Imperium. The Celtic Warrior found himself alone as he said his Brawling Brutes teammates were stuck in Florida, but that didn't stop him from calling out Imperium or Imperium taking the advantage of the numbers game. Sheamus was beat down, but he wasn't out as he laid on the mat and asked Imperium, "Is that all you got?" showing the toughness that has led to fans cheering him ever since his feud with Gunther began. But that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, why so many Raw stars on Smackdown? And there were a surprising number of Raw wrestlers on Smackdown last night, and while we don't know if Florida's tropical storm kept anyone from making it to last night's show, having Kevin Owens, Bayley, Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory and Alpha Academy show up suggests the Blue Brand's writers don't have any confidence in Smackdown's roster when the Bloodline isn't present. If that's the case, it's another reason to either drop the brand split or draft some stars to SmackDown. Fans and pundits who lament over Roman Reigns' absence are missing the big picture that SmackDown lacks a significant number of undercard stars to make the show entertaining with or without Roman Reigns. Number 2, a mid-card main event. Last night's main event was more akin to a mid-card match, with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens being the only stars to close the main event. Alpha Academy bounces between the mid and upper card, while Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano haven't broken out yet. Again, SmackDown's failure to create new stars was on display, as the WWE couldn't book an all-star main event, even with help from Raw. And number 3, Los Lotharios are done. It's becoming apparent who's in and who's out under the new regime, as seen by Los Lotharios' near squash to Hit Row. Apparently being young and talented will only get you so far if you're Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, despite their charisma and ease at playing cocky heels. Now we understand why Hit Row is being pushed, but why treat Los Lotharios like a third-rate team when they could be more effective foils to babyfaces? SmackDown needs another undercard heel team right now that the Viking Raiders are out, and this baffling booking suggests Triple H isn't the genius some fans are making him out to be. Now there's nothing downright ugly, but could the WWE put on a more lackluster edition of SmackDown, especially the week before Extreme Rules? The Blue Brand continues to be booked like it's an afterthought, with the WWE putting its best efforts into Raw. It's a bad move, and once again, if it's not the Bloodline, the Blue Brand's creative team couldn't care less. What would you guys think of SmackDown last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our top story looks at a WWE Hall of Famer and Japanese legend passing away. The top of the news today is the death of wrestling great Antonio Inoki. The Japanese sensation created New Japan Pro Wrestling and used his status as an international star to attain political office, combining both roles to aid his work as a humanitarian. Born Kanji Inoki on 20th February 1943, Inoki moved to Brazil when he was a teenager. He met Korean wrestler Riki Dozan and traveled to Japan, training to become a star. In '72, Inoki found New Japan Pro Wrestling, a wrestling company that would change the world of professional wrestling. This included Inoki's bouts against legitimate fighters from various martial arts. While there were questions about how legitimate some of his contests were, some historians saw these bouts as the beginning of mixed martial arts. One such event was a Control wrestler versus boxer fighting match involving Antonio Inoki and Muhammad Ali. Inoki's wrestling career continued, but he also turned to politics, becoming elected to the Japanese government. During his first run in office, he traveled to Iraq during the first Gulf crisis in 1990 and arranged for the release of Japanese hostages. His initial foray into politics lasted from 1989 to 1995, but he returned to office in 2013, serving until 2019. In 1995, he also used professional wrestling and politics to try and ease diplomatic relations between North Korea and Japan. This resulted in Collision in Korea, an event that featured stars from WCW and New Japan performing in North Korea. The WWE honored Inoki with a Hall of Fame induction in 2010, just one of several Hall of Fames Inoki was inducted into. But his health began deteriorating and he died on 1st October 2022, reportedly from heart failure. We send our thoughts and prayers out to Mr. Inoki's friends, family, and the many fans around the world. Next up, the wrestling world honors Inoki. Not surprisingly, there have been an outpouring of grief for the Japanese icon, so much that we can only share a few. Nature Boy Ric Flair shared this on social media saying, "Rest in peace Antonio Inoki. Thank you for your great matches and memories, my friend." William Regal recalled wrestling Inoki in WCW in 1994 and the lasting impression he made. Deeply saddened to hear the passing of Mr. Antonio Inoki, the legendary Japanese pro. Mr. Inoki chose to wrestle me in 1994, then we became friends. Kept in touch and was always very kind to me. My deepest condolences to his family and fans. Former WCW executive Eric Bischoff, who worked with Inoki on the Collision in Korea event, tweeted, "Some of my moments in my career that I'm most grateful for are the results of the friendship that evolved from our business together. Inoki-san was a visionary, in some ways too ahead of his time." Triple H also tweeted, "One of the most important figures in the history of our business, and a man who embodied the term fighting spirit. The legacy of WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki will live on forever." AEW President Tony Khan also wrote, "Rest in peace Antonio Inoki, a pioneer in the pro wrestling industry. Inoki's influence and his achievements will live on forever in the wrestling world. He's an inspiration to all of the dreamers. Thank you, sir." And finally, White Rabbit clues continue. Last but not least, it's time to take a look at the latest White Rabbit clues. For those who missed last night's Smackdown, a QR code was shown on the conclusion of Karrion Kross's promo, taking fans to a WWE website. WrestleTalk's Amanda Savage summed things up as follows, as this one played a video of a cartoon pig which was spliced with photos of a less joyful pig in the form of butchered and hanging sides of pork. After that, a cartoon wolf was spliced with photos of a hooded person who appears to be dressed as a wolf dressed as a grandma from the story of the Big Bad Wolf, with a satin-gloved Red Riding Hood by his side. During the wolf portion of the video, Morse code plays that when ran through a Morse code audio decoder reads Azazel Reborn. There was another clue on SmackDown as a sign showed up behind Michael Cole and Corey Graves that read "Revel in what you are," something that Bray Wyatt tweeted a while back. Additional clues included a phone number contained in a video which plays the following message: "Bravo Echo Lima Alpha India Romeo. I'm the way into the city of woe. I'm the way into eternal sorrow." Some SmackDown sleuths believe that the letters above spell Bel Air and are connecting it with the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Will Smith, who in the sitcom came from Philadelphia, the site for Extreme Rules. Finally, Sean Ross Sapp speculated the video's file name TS Season 10 Episode 6 could be a reference to the Simpsons episode that has White Rabbit played in it. What do you think of these latest clues though? Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.